On a night of reflection and remembrance, we must remember that there is still football to be played as we are all gathered here in Louisiana at Stack Up Stadium to round out the week of SFL action as the Vancouver Legion visit the Louisiana Revolution. Both of these teams 1-2, a win in week 2, and both teams looking for some offensive consistency as we hit the midway point of the season. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Trillo. Happy to have your company and happy to have the company of Mike O'Neill. It's been a long time coming, Mike, but we finally get to share a broadcast booth this evening.
Yeah, that's right, Trillo. And should we just call it the Mike and Mike show here? I'm so excited about this. We got a great football matchup, an excellent tribute earlier. I mean, it's been a great evening so far. We had a thrilling game earlier in the slate earlier today, but man, this is going to be a heck of a matchup here, Trillo. I can't wait to break it down as we go along.
Vancouver in the all-white away uniforms. Louisiana in the Cadillac black tributes. As they will get the ball first. We are underway. Louisiana will just down it in the back of the end zone as this Louisiana team averaging just 11 points per game on offense. As we say hello to their offensive starters. Tommy Utah under center. Dwayne Simmons, Chris Grant Jr. running back, Cameron Collier, and Noah Scott at fullback. Ziggy Rodick, Adam Banks, Kingston Arlington, and Mike Twinsky at wide receiver. Levy Lease, John Michael Suttoth, and Tyler Gregory at tight end. We begin from the 20. Utah pitch left. Here's Salmons as he'll get just 2 yards. Offensive line, Sergei Katzlov, Cole Katz, Odette Boudreau, Ross Napoli, and Ray Lafayette.
Yeah, great job there by the defense of Vancouver to hold that to 2 yards. I mean, that looked like it could have gone for a lot more.
This time they'll split the backs behind Tommy Utah. He'll throw for the first time today. 4-man rush, and he puts it out over the middle, and climbing the ladder is Ziggy Rodick in his first season with Louisiana.
Yeah, Ziggy Rodick. Great job here, Trillo. You see Ziggy Rodick up the seam there and just literally running a seam route, finds the open hole, and really, really good job by Tommy Utah to put that ball in the right place. This is one of the keys for tonight, Trillo. I mean, they spread the ball around really well. They've got 3 receivers with over 10 receptions. They got to continue to do that.
1st and 10 for the 40. Utah again, a little bit too high and off the hands of Kingston Ellington. Vancouver defense led by Bobo Caudill, Achilles Papatotis, Gerald Giudicelli, and Michael Rury on the defensive line. Josh Farnsey, DJ Woods, and Marquise Reed at linebacker. Emmanuel Blackman, Michael Lister, Ron Hoff, and Zach Lay at corner. And the safeties, Mark Lopez and Drew Hamilton. Once again from the 40-yard line, they'll bring a 5-man rush, and they get to Salmons as he tries to go left. Shooting the gap was Emmanuel Blackman. And Mike, we have a lot to say about the Vancouver cornerback.
Yeah, Emmanuel Blackman has been killer this season. I mean, we're talking 13 tackles for a corner, Trillo. 3 tackles for loss, 4 pass defense, 1 interception. I mean, Emmanuel Blackman has been lockdown, to say the least, for Vancouver. You got to keep your eyes on him tonight.
Now 3rd and 10. Utah going to roll to his left. Plenty of time to throw it down the middle. And in triple coverage, Mike Twins' crew can't come up with it. Vancouver will turn the ball over.
Yeah, good job by Vancouver's secondary there. And Louisiana, you got to get some offense going. I like what you did when you come out and you run on 1st down. Then you pick up a big gain, but you got to stay balanced. This Vancouver defense, you have to make them cover the entire field. That's Louisiana's bread and butter. You've got to do a better job spreading the ball around, finding the open receivers. Let's see what Vancouver can do on offense.
Vida Lee with the punt, and on the return, Lily Nakai gets it up to the Vancouver 23. Expect to see a big night out of Nakai as she is 2nd in the league in punt return yards, 127, and a touchdown already on this young season. Let's meet the Vancouver offense. Christian Brown in his 8th SFL season is under center. Ike McBride, the transfer from Carolina, joins Pseudo Nakai in the backfield. Mateo Pravado in there at fullback as well. Nick Lockett, Kendra Wells, and Lily Nakai at wide receiver, as well as the newly minted Hall of Famer Brett Killian. Sharona Pravado and Stephen McMichaels, the tight end. First play, little quick slant over the middle to McMichaels. Also Mike Coverson, Gregory Wynell, Leo Chang, Rylan Caudill, and Brunter Grayjam on the offensive line.
Yeah, that was a good little drag route by Stephen McMichaels. I like what Vancouver offense is doing first down here. Let's see what they do on second.
And it's a handoff to the fullback. And Sharona Pravado, the tight end, gets a carry as the rookie rumbles for a first down.
Mixing it up a little bit. Vancouver with a little bit of trickery, Chirillo, as they get the tight end to carry. That's something you don't see every day.
You are limited into how many times non-backfield players can get carries per game. So we'll track that as the game goes along. First carry for Ike McBride goes for a loss of 1.
Yeah, and tackle made by Gary Clem on that. We got a lot to say about this linebacking core, Chirillo. You and I were talking pregame. This linebacking core for Louisiana is stout. We'll go over their stats in a minute.
Second and 11. Christian Brown, the 6'6" quarterback, surveys the defense, steps back to throw over the middle into one-on-one coverage. Down the seam past the 45 for a first down. A BK12. Brett Killian is in the house.
Yeah, BK12 on the slant route here. You can see the safety dropping back. That was 97 Slyn Shady in pass coverage there. And just BK12 is going to win that matchup 9 out of 10 times, Chirillo. Good job by Vancouver's offense.
It doesn't matter if you're a 7-time All-Star like Shady is. That's if a wide receiver, especially Hall of Fame wide receiver like Brett Killian, gets inside position on you on a route like that, you're not catching up to it. First and 10 from the 46. They'll hand the ball off. And again, just 1 yard for Ike McBride. Gary Burney with the tackle. And it's going to be important for Vancouver to try and establish the run game because Christian Brown, through the first 3 games of this season, has not had the start to season 23 that he probably would have liked.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, you're talking about 48% completion rating on the season so far, and you see him there get the ball to BK12 again, and that's a really good passing concept there. I mean, they're liking that slant route early, and often you see him again working on Slyn Shady in the middle of the field. But talking about Christian Brown, yeah, he hasn't had the start he has wanted to. Only thrown 3 interceptions though, so there is a positive in it, Chirillo, for sure.
Killian all the season, the only Legion receiver through 3 games with double-digit catches, and Louisiana has sold out to stop the run on this opening drive. As going backwards again is Ike McBride.
Yeah, and that's not uncharacteristic. I mean, Chuck Diesel's got 4 tackles for loss. Gary Clem's got 3. I mean, you can see Slyn Shady's got 5. I mean, this linebacking core is here to stop the run.
Another handoff, back to the original line of scrimmage. A little bit more. Gary Clem wraps up Pseudo Nakai, former Offensive Player of the Year back in season 14.
Yeah, Nakai, out of the 3 in the backfield, Nakai only has 12 carries on the season. Be interested to see if they kind of mix that in as a different wrinkle into this offense for Vancouver.
4 wide now on 3rd and 9. Passing down upcoming. Lily Nakai goes from left to right. Strong side left. They'll go that way and throw behind Killian. Not sure if that was a curl that Killian didn't come back for or a streak that was thrown behind the wide receiver. Either way, it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, you can chalk that up to just a little bit of miscommunication between BK12 and Christian Brown. But in Christian Brown's defense, I mean, Louisiana had a defender, coming right there in Christian Brown's face. So he had to get the ball out quick and, unfortunately not the turnout they would like.
Punt away and back up the sideline comes Kingston Ellington up to the 20-yard line. So as we expected through the first couple of minutes, defensive battle, offensive struggling to get any sort of rhythm going. And Vancouver winning the field position battle early on, 4:34 to go first quarter. Tommy Utah and company back on the field. Pitch to the near side. Here comes Dwayne Salmons, his best run of the night. Picks up 4. Looked like he got caught up behind his own blocker a little bit as well.
Yeah, Dwayne Salmons, so far on season, just shy of 250 yards on the season on 58 carries, so he's averaging 4.2 yards per carry. I mean, you got to get him involved pretty early and often, especially because they like to spread the ball around. You got to be able to balance it out.
Up the middle goes Chris Grant Jr., the other running back on this Revolution offense. The shortest man on this team, 5'11", 240 for Chris Grant in his third season, all with Louisiana. Sets him up third in a manageable 1, and only a 4-man front with 2 linebackers for Vancouver. Not really stacking the box, and it doesn't work for them as Salmons picks up the move of the chains.
No, if you give Louisiana a 3-man front like that with the outside linebackers kind of creeping on the outside, Louisiana's going to run the ball down the throat of Vancouver. You see him here in a 4-man front, back in it, in position. They've got to keep the beef up front.
JMS, John Michael Sudduth, moves to become the extra tight end on the left-hand side. He'll go out in formation, and a tough throw by Tommy Utah into tight coverage is incomplete. He was looking for Hronik again.
Yeah, it was a good job by the corner. It looked like I want to believe it was Ron Hoff in coverage there, but nonetheless, really good job by the corner for Vancouver to keep that to an incompletion, forcing a 2nd and long here.
2nd and 10. They try the pitch play again, and it doesn't really go for any yards. Nice tackle by the Vancouver defense. Zach Lay right there. And I want to get your take on those toss plays. They're very hit or miss in this league.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in a league where, you're talking about around the league, we're seeing tons of pressures coming from corners. You and I were talking about this pregame, and when you've got blitzes coming from the outside from cornerbacks, that is so destructive to a toss play. So it's really a boom or bust play, and some teams, it really comes down to the blocking. Some teams can do it great, and some teams, kind of shoots them in the foot.
That time, Vancouver did bring the pressure. The wide receiver was open, but couldn't get the first down yardage, just could Chris Grant, and forces another punt for Louisiana. Lee will boot this one away. Got to pin Vancouver deep. It's a punt that bounces inside the 10 and just doesn't have the backwards rotation to stay out of the end zone. So only 4 combined first downs so far between these two teams.
Yeah.
We've only got 2:16 to go in the first.
Yeah, it's pretty on par. And I'll tell you what, though, going back to that punt, Louisiana fans at home, let me tell you this. You want to continue to see those touchbacks because Vancouver is #1 in the league as far as punt return yards. So you do not want to give them any opportunities.
There's a toss. Ike McBride stiff arm for 7. That's the best run of the night by either team. And I guess if up the middle doesn't work, you got to get the ball outside.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You got to, go where the openings are. And Ike McBride, she's a veteran, right? She's been doing this for a long time. And you see why she's had the success in the career that she has off that run there.
Time they fullback diving up the gut with Pravado. He's going to pick up the first down. What's really stuck out to me looking at the stats before this game is Pravado only has 4 fewer carries than Ike McBride through the first 3 games at an average of 5.8 yards per carry, which is 3rd in the league amongst all rushers.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Mateo Pravado is a huge key for this Vancouver offense, and they've got to make sure that he is utilized early and often. Christian Brown, like we were talking about, has only thrown 3 interceptions this season. I think that's a huge credit to the run game, Trullo.
They pitch it outside to McBride again. She goes for 5. And it looks like they're going to keep it on the ground here. A very heavy set. All 3 tight ends on the offensive line. They line it up for Pravado, and he says, give me that first down.
Pravado is so good at finding openings. He's just an incredibly athletic fullback to be on the field. Don't get me wrong, he's a big guy, but pretty athletic on the field.
Round a throw. A crossing route completes to Stephen McMichaels, his second catch of the game. And this is kind of what you want to see if you're Vancouver offense, right? Not trying to take everything at once. Just take it what the defense gives you, stringing some first downs together. 2nd and 2 as we approach under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. They'll hand it off again. This time it's Pseudo, and Nakai gets into Louisiana territory for the first time.
Yeah, Pseudo Nakai, a little bit of a smaller back, but so shifty and so good in open space. And you see right there, I mean, great play call by Vancouver's offensive coordinators to dial that up and just get him, fit him in between the line.
That's the end of the first quarter. No score between the Vancouver Legion and the Louisiana Revolution, but the Legion are driving. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by Dags Droneworks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. Also a shout out to Mike Daggs and Justin Reside on stats this evening. Once again, my name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company as we start quarter number 2. Mike O'Neill joins me on broadcast this evening, Cameron Irvine. Punching all the buttons in the truck as Christian Brown evades a tackle in the backfield, gets it out there for 5 yards. Long throw to Lily Nakai across his body, but a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, Lily Nakai comes over from Fort Worth, and so far she's been tremendous, not just in the receiving corps, but also on the punt return, in the punt return game, special teams. I mean, she's been a great asset for this Vancouver Legion.
Watch this one-on-one battle all the way to the bottom half of the screen, and as now Killian motions out to the top. They're going to pitch it to Ike McBride. She goes nowhere. Slyn Shady on the stop.
Again, and we'll talk about this linebacking core of Louisiana. Like, they are so good in run coverage, but one thing you've got to watch out for is the pass coverage is a little suspect. So we're seeing Vancouver kind of take advantage of that pretty early in the passing game, and they've had some success. But you know, look, the score is 0-0, and we're in the second quarter, so Louisiana's not doing too bad.
And just like that, a promising drive comes to an end. Incomplete pass into punt. Total stats from early on in this game, again thanks to Mike Daggs and Justin Reside. Pretty similar, just Vancouver's had a little bit more of the ball as Louisiana gets a chance to correct those numbers now from their own 20. So their 3 drives, the Revs have started from the 20, the 20, and the 21.
This is good football here. This is, you know, who's going to make the first mistake. That's what we're watching for.
It's a pitch to Salmons off the top, and looks like they're trying to take some cues from what Vancouver's offense was doing earlier. Only gets 3 yards on that one.
Yeah, 2nd and 7. Playbook's pretty wide open. I'd like to see a pass here, though.
Three linebackers in the formation for Vancouver. Let's see if they bring the heat. It's going to be a run. Chris Grant trying to pick his way through. Just gets a few. Sets up a 3rd and manageable 3. But I agree with you. I think those 2nd and medium distances, these teams have got to be a little bit more willing to open up the playbook and go to the air.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have some diversity. You got to, you know, keep the defense honest.
3rd and 3. Utah with an I formation behind him. He'll step back to throw. Here comes the blitz. He throws over the top of the blitz and connects with Kingston Ellington for a first down.
Yeah, this is a great play call. 3rd and 3, and you see the inside slant from Kingston Ellington working against number 32 there for Vancouver, and that's Ron Hoff, and really, really good job. I mean, that's not an easy matchup. Ron Hoff's a great corner, but good job and good inside leverage for Kingston Ellington. Even better ball by Tommy Utah, leading it in front of him.
Nice job by Utah to recognize the blitz. Here's the pitch to Salmons. Nobody out there on the front lines for Vancouver, so he'll pick up 4. And even when the running backs are getting a little bit of space to work with, the defense is closing them down so fast, we haven't really seen any extended runs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting what they call here. I like the pass play here.
Oh, Utah's picked off right at midfield by Josh Farnsey.
I don't know if I've ever heard a commentator curse like that quickly, Trillo. I literally said I like the pass call, and Farnsey picks this ball off. I mean, he was just directly right in front of the receiver there. I mean, that was just a poor throw by Tommy Utah. That's an unfortunate, costly mistake for the Revolution.
Utah into double coverage, and it gives Vancouver excellent field position right at the midfield stripe. Only 3 yards on first down. We've seen the Legion go to these short crosses over the middle a couple of times, especially on first down.
Yeah, they like what they're seeing from it, like we were talking about. They're trying to take advantage of these linebackers in the pass coverage, just plain and simple.
2nd and 7, split backs behind Brown, who's under center. They'll hand the ball off. A little bit of steam is Pseudo Nakai. Brings up 3rd and 4. One thing we have not had yet in this entire game is a 3 and out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've kept the chains moving at least once every drive.
Brown scrambles to his right, throws deep, and overthrows everybody. Well, the commentator's curse strikes again. As for the first time tonight, we have a 3 and out.
We're 2 for 2 so far on the Mike and Mike show. I want to go back, partner. I want to go back to Josh Farnsey getting an interception in this game for Vancouver. I mean, it's his 2nd interception on the season. I mean, having a killer season. 14 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 pass defense, and now 2 interceptions on the season. So huge credit to Josh Farnsey for what he's doing for this Vancouver defense.
Chance 2 wins. Punt goes out of bounds inside the 20, and got to talk about the field goal numbers because that's very well maybe what it comes down to. Chance to win 5 of 6 with a long of 45. Otis Boudreau 4 of 5 with a long of 49. 6:07 to go in the 2nd quarter. Hand off, Salmons, nowhere to go, shouldered backwards by Marquise Reed.
Man, I don't know if I've ever seen a linebacker fly into a gap like that. I mean, just the gap awareness by Marquise Reed there, and to shoot the gap as quickly as he did. I mean, that was an excellent blow up there by Marquise Reed.
Tackle for loss number 78 in the long and storied career of Marquise Reed. Chris Grant Jr. trying to get the edge. He does after initially being hit in the backfield. Brings up 3rd and 7. Reed, 15 seasons in the league. Over 1,000 tackles. And he's good for 21st on the all-time tackles list. Utah rolls out, surveys, fires down the numbers, and it's tipped and incomplete. Ron Hoff, you mentioned him a couple of times, an excellent corner, gets the pass deflection, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Ron Hoff working against Twin Screw there, Mike Twin Screw, and Twin Screw was running a corner route, and Hoff was just playing underneath. Good job, really, just being in the right positioning there. Tommy Utah didn't put enough air under it.
Should be decent field position for Vancouver, but a great punt by Vida Lee. Flips the field all the way to the Vancouver 30-yard line. Coming into the game, Louisiana had 3 receivers with 10-plus catches. Ziggy Ronick, Kingston Ellington, and Mike Twin Screw. All of them have 1 catch so far tonight. Christian
I think
Brown's,
that's a big credit here to Vancouver's defense.
Christian Brown, 6 of 9 passing so far. Make that 6 of 10. as the pass goes off the hands of Lili Nakai. He's been trying to force Lili down the field a little bit. Just one reception now on 3 targets.
Yeah, just haven't been able to connect, the way that they've wanted to early on. And we'll see a 2nd and 10 here. And honestly, I'd like to see them run in this situation.
They will. Just a single back. And it looks like we're in the WWE. Or at least Chance Wall thinks so with that tackle.
Chance Wall is a big, big, big fella. And I will tell you this. Number 99 there on the defense, that defensive line, just made a heck of a tackle.
Three receivers off to the left, 3rd and 10. Just a single linebacker in the middle of the field. They go with the shovel pass, and that doesn't get much of anything, as both offenses have completely stalled out here in this 2nd quarter. Under 4.5 to go, still scoreless. Neither team has even had a shot.
Yeah, this has been a defense knockout, drag-out type of fight, and I think this is kind of what we were expecting coming into this game. It's one of those, and I think you made the joke earlier that the first game, they scored enough points for both games.
Well, Mexico City and the Santa Fe Gorillas throwbacks tonight, maintaining their perfect record in those throwbacks, honoring Matt Wilson. As tonight we honor 4 legends of the SFL game who life has taken from us far too soon. Rich Pratchett, Matt Wilson, Leonard Butler Sr., and Anthony Stover, also known as Billy Ray Valentine. It's a pitch. Salmons breaks a tackle and almost gets free. And a 6-yard pickup on 1st down.
Yeah, and I'm surprised we haven't seen Salmons break one of those outside. He's gotten really close on a couple of those pitches, because Louisiana's getting some great blocking on the outside, but you got to keep your eyes open. He might break one soon.
Salmons averaging 4.2 yards per carry. Here's Chris Grant. And maybe Louisiana's found a little bit of momentum on the ground as they move the sticks.
Yeah, Chris Grant Jr. coming in and really just being the between the tackles guy so far. Really doing a good job, kind of getting a little bit shifty in between the tackles and picking up some good yardage. That's a big 1st down for Louisiana.
1st and 10, Utah pitches left. Salmons stutter steps and gets close to midfield with a 5-yard gain.
And again, with the pitch to the outside, it always seems like he's one broken tackle away from green grass. So it's definitely something to watch for. And credit to Vancouver's defense for keeping the containment in.
But be careful. Watch for Louisiana potentially to take the top off the defense if Louisiana overcommits to the run, as we see Chris Grant Jr. again pick up a couple up the middle, sets up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I'm looking at number 81 and number 85, Levy Lease and John Michael Suddeth specifically John Michael Suddeth. This is an area where he could really thrive.
Suddeth averaging 20.3 yards per catch through 3 games this season. 3rd and 2. Utah pitches again. Salmons try to get the outside. And the defense for Vancouver says, no, sir. Mark Lopez led the charge on that combo tackle. 4th and inches now. We'll see if they keep the offense on the field. And they will. Utah under center.
3-man front for Vancouver.
And we will get the 2-minute warning. We'll see if Louisiana sticks to their guns after the break. They do.
3-man front here.
Yeah. Middle could be open if they decide to run. They do run. It's Grant. It's a 1st down. And Louisiana continues their 100% 4th down conversion rate on the season.
Pretty impressive. I'll tell you this, before the 2-minute warning, I really thought Louisiana was going to be kicking themselves, so they didn't snap that ball because of that 3-man front. Nonetheless, Vancouver goes back to it, and Louisiana capitalizes.
6 straight runs to open the drive for Louisiana. It's the farthest they've gotten into Vancouver territory so far in this game, currently at the 43. Utah will now pass, and he'll throw the comeback route. He was looking for Kingston Ellington, and it's broken up.
Yeah, it's a great pass breakup by Vancouver's defense. And Vancouver, these corners for Vancouver are so good, and they're so physical. It's going to be hard. I like the idea to throw a hitch, but you got to be careful there.
2nd and 10. Utah, straight back drop, and a back shoulder beauty. It's Adam Banks, his first target of the game, and moves Louisiana into field goal range.
Yeah, that was the perfect play call there. Man coverage, they put Adam Banks on a corner route. Adam Banks gets a couple steps ahead on the break, and great job there. Great ball by Tommy Utah.
16 yards on the reception by Banks. Inside the 30 now at the 26-yard line. 3-by-2, 5 wide of the formation. Utah goes and into double coverage, overthrows his receiver, Mike Twin Screw.
And that's one that Utah's going to want back. When you go back and you replay that, Twin Screw had inside leverage there. There was no safety help in the middle of the field. If Utah could have led that ball inside, that would have been a touchdown.
2nd and 10, they continue to spread the field out, 3 receivers. Utah rolls strong side right, looks down the numbers into triple coverage, and that's another throw by Tommy Utah into plus coverage in this series, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it's a big 3rd down for Louisiana. They've got to get something, make something happen here, see what they come out with. They've got quads, so I like their chances here, but if I'm them, go for the middle of the field. I'm going in between the hashes.
Vancouver brings pressure. It's a 5-man blitz. They get it out quickly. Salmons looking down the numbers and steps out inside the 10. What a play call against the blitz.
Yeah, that is the perfect play call, Trillo. They send the blitz. They send all the receivers on hitch and goes, essentially. And you see Salmons there just running underneath into the flats. Nobody was guarding him, and that is an excellent play call for Louisiana, picking up a huge 1st down in a critical situation. Our first and goal of the night.
Well, they sent the middle linebacker, right, Mike? And that's usually who spies the running back in those kind of formations.
Yep. Louisiana making them pay for the extra pressure.
1:05 to go in the first half. Revs trying to take the lead late. Into the end zone, one-hand grab, touchdown Revolution, Kingston Ellington with a beauty.
Wow, Kingston Ellington running just a post inside the red zone, and what a catch, one-handed in the back of the end zone. Vancouver's defense, they weren't even ready for it. They weren't even in position yet. That was a great pitch and catch from Tommy Utah to Kingston Ellington. Huge touchdown to start the night.
That's got to be your nice hands catch of the game, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K 23. And Louisiana finally breaks the stalemate with a minute to go in the first half. We said whoever blinks first may just well lose this game. That's a pretty big blink from the Legion defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something now. This is the big test for Vancouver, right?
Oh, look out. Lili Nakai breaks a tackle down the sideline and pushed out of bounds at the 49-yard line across midfield. We mentioned she is a danger woman in the return game, showing it off right there.
Out of the end zone. She look at the cut. Watch the broken tackle right there. Just punishing a defender there and then getting to the outside. This is exactly why Vancouver is such a threat in special teams. You got to kick that ball into the end zone. Touchbacks every single time if you're the Revolution.
So now Vancouver, 53 seconds and 3 timeouts. To try and even up this game before halftime, or just getting a chance to win field goal range. Lili Nakai, after that good return, cutting across the formation. He'll go short, middle, caught for a gain of 6. And a timeout called by Vancouver.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do if you're Vancouver. They're trying to capitalize, and you can see it. I mean, it's clearly written in the game plan for Vancouver. They're trying to take advantage of these linebackers in pass coverage, and so far, doing a good job. I'd like to see them go back to that slant with BK12 again.
Killian in the blue sleeves. Slot receiver to the near side. Brown looking, finding Killian, and they get to the 21-yard line. Vancouver calls timeout number 2.
Yeah, Vancouver knowing what they're doing right now, being strategic with their passing concepts and putting BK12 on the outside there in one-on-one coverage. If you've got BK12 on one-on-one coverage, you're taking that every single time.
Brown. Here comes late pressure, and the pass is just a little overcooked towards the goal line. I don't hate the play call, though.
No, not at all. You take a shot to the end zone. You got 2nd and long here. You got 36 seconds. I mean, you still got 1 timeout left. The playbook's still pretty open here, especially if you've got concepts that go towards the sidelines.
They're back in that 3-receiver formation. They go to the one-on-one coverage, and it's great coverage.
Yeah, Rolliman Hood came over to help play support there underneath, and really doing a good job coming in and just being aware of the situation. Louisiana's defense right now, they're pretty locked in. They're focusing in on this. They're not giving up points here. That's their mindset.
3rd and 10, or at least hold them to a chance to win field goal. Christian Brown, 4-man front, it's picked off! They tried the out route, and Gary Clem makes them pay! He's going back down the sideline, running like he wants to win an Olympic gold medal! He's gonna get there! What a backbreaker for Vancouver right before the halftime interval, and Louisiana doubles the lead.
Carilla, you want to talk about football IQ, you want to talk about positional awareness. How about knowing your opponent has to go towards the sidelines? Gary Clem just being aware of what the routes were going to be called against them, and undercutting that route there on a corner route, picks the ball off and runs all the way back to the end zone, takes it to the house. And like I said, that defense was locked in. They were not ready to give up points. Louisiana Revolution just made a huge, huge play and kind of swinging a little bit more momentum in their favor.
If you're Louisiana, that's not just a 7-point swing. It's potentially a 10 or 14-point swing right at the end of the half. We talked about the linebacking core for Louisiana right at the top of the show. Gary Clem, 17 tackles on the year coming in. That's his 2nd interception and 1st pick 6. And indeed, Gary Clem's 1st pick 6 of his career.
That was incredible. That was about as good of a timed route interception that you could ever see. I mean, that was textbook there.
Now 19 seconds for Vancouver, just 1 timeout. Christian Brown's going to go to the air. He's going to go to the far side. A flag flies as Lili Nakai couldn't come up with the catch. They're going to get pass interference here. It's going to move him up 15 yards, up to the 29.
Yeah, and obviously that's a big thing here, because any yards is better, than no yards. So realistically, it's a good break for Vancouver. But if I'm being honest, 15 seconds left in the half. Maybe take 1 or 2 shots, but be comfortable taking it into half if you need to and regroup.
Brown will throw. He's forced backwards. He's got to let it go, and it's complete to Killian over the middle of the field. Vancouver will not burn their final timeout and will head to the halftime break down 14-0 to the Louisiana Revolution. Both teams came into this game desperately needing a win and needing some offense. And it's the Revolution winning the battle of attrition so far, 14-0 at the halftime break. Mike, what say you?
Yeah, I think all of this goes back to the utilization between Chris Grant Jr. and Dwayne Salmons for Louisiana Revolution. I think that because they were able to diversify the run game, keep a balanced approach, and like we talked about in the beginning, making Vancouver defend the entire field from sideline to sideline, I think that's been a huge, huge thing for Louisiana to kind of take the swing that they have and the momentum, forcing Vancouver into a situation where they have to throw, and Louisiana knows they have to throw. They got the pick six. But look, if you're Vancouver, there's no panic here. You know, we're talking about 14 points. That's 2 touchdowns, and this offense has put up 50 points at least once this season, right? So we know that they're capable of it. If you're Vancouver, just regroup, take it back into the second half, and get some offense going.
Before we get back to action, let's take a quick halftime break presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Get into the world of sports memorabilia with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com. And Vancouver gets the ball first, looking for a break on offense here, Mike O'Neill.
See what you did there, pal.
Now, if you know me, I'm kind of known for the one-liners. Hopefully that won't be the last one. All right, here we go. Second half. 14-0 Louisiana, but a nice start for Vancouver on a 6-yard Ike McBride run. Checking in on some numbers through the first half. Ike McBride, that was her 8th attempt of the game, only 18 yards. Best rusher is Mateo Privado, 9 on 2 for 4.5 per. Christian Brown, 11 of 18 at 61%. Speaking of Privado, there he goes. And picks up a first down.
This is interesting. You see they're going with the same recipe Louisiana went with on offense, right? They go outside run, they go inside run, then they go pass. And it seems like they're kind of picking that same trend up, taking a page out of Louisiana's playbook.
1st and 10. Killian coming across the formation. He's being shadowed by Dante Grimm, the free safety. There may be a short route concept in there somewhere. They'll just hand the ball off to Ike McBride, and she'll pick up 4. McBride on the season coming into the game.
Yeah.
As I scroll over to it, my bad. 35 carries, 107 yards, 3.1 yards per carry, and just 1 touchdown. Not really the numbers she would have wanted to put up through the first 3 weeks.
Super productive back zone. And this is, you see pseudo here.
Yeah. And I love the switch up from Vancouver.
Wow.
Going with the draw.
Yeah, I like what they're doing, mixing it up in the run game, and I think that's what you kind of have to do. I think you kind of have to, they've got to do something to pull these defensive backs up and keep them, try and make them defend the run.
Quick pass, slant middle, caught, 7-yard gain to Brett Killian. And I mean, if you can get that one consistently, you could just pull the old Tim Tebow Florida Gators and just go down the field 5 yards at a time.
There you go. Yeah, that's. I think Gary Clem in the linebacking core for Louisiana Revolution would love to have a say in that.
They're going to go back to Privado, and all 4 Privado carries so far tonight have resulted in first downs.
Yeah. Dude is a monster. I mean, you can see so far, I mean, on the season, 31 carries, 179 yards. That's not including tonight, averaging 5.8 yards a carry.
McBride stretching, can't quite turn the corner. gobbled up near the sideline by Even Arthur.
I want to give you an extra shout out to the receivers of Vancouver for blocking the way they do on those outside zone run plays. I mean, that is those stretch plays for Ike McBride are killer, and they do such a good job on the outside.
Keep the ball on the ground again. Oh, looked like the ball came out, and down goes Matteo Privado, and he's gonna stay there.
Yeah, this is not good. This is a big part of Vancouver's offense. This is not something you want to see if you're a Vancouver fan. He is walking off the field, though, so that's always a good sign.
Andy Hamilton, a look of consternation on his face as they have mostly rode McBride and Privado all the way into Louisiana territory, and taken 3 minutes off of this third quarter clock in the process. Let's see what Vancouver does without their star fullback on the field. They'll go for a draw play to McBride that goes absolutely nowhere. Tackled by Slynn Shady. The linebackers continuing to show up for the Revolution.
Yeah, they're so good. I mean, that's such a solid unit for the Revolution. And look, if you're Vancouver, though, I mean, you're moving the ball effectively. Just keep doing what you're doing.
8 runs, just 1 pass on this drive. There's pass number 2. Stephen McMichaels picks it up, sets up a 3rd and manageable 2, and this would be Matteo Privado's wheelhouse, but now that he's not in the game, who do they go for here?
Yeah, well, you see Sudo Nakai right there lined up in the fullback position, and that could be somebody to watch for.
Nakai just 5'7", but he'll try and be a lead blocker, and Ike McBride is ripped down behind the line by Slynn Shady, 4th and 1.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to keep it here, if they're going to settle for 3.
They will go for the 43-yard field goal attempt by Chance to Win is long on the season, 45. No wind in the Stack-Up Stadium Dome, and the Vancouver Legion on the board, but you can clearly see how the injury to Matteo Privado affected that drive.
Oh, yeah, real time. I mean, you get into a 3rd and short situation, and, you know, you've got Sudo Nakai, who's not really cut out to be a lead blocker going in, and it's a tough situation. Hopefully, we see Privado back out on the field at some point. Hopefully, he gets healthy again and can come back out there. But look, if you're Vancouver, this is no reason. I mean, you got to be feeling pretty good about this. I mean, there was a 12-play drive. You drive down the field. Your run game looks good. You're mixing it up. You're starting to get a little bit more passing involved, but now big question is, what's your defense going to do? Can you shut down the 2-headed monster in the backfield of Louisiana?
I do want to point out for Vancouver, well, they did score 51 points in the win over Houston in week 2. Their other 2 games against Carolina in week 1 and Canton in week 3, they scored 7 and 6 points respectively. As Louisiana and Payne Salmons, he looks like he's found another gear out of the halftime interval, picks up 7 on 1st down.
Yeah, he's what you call a workhorse. Gets better as the game goes on, and I think you could say the same about his partner in crime, Chris Grant Jr. I mean, these two are looking really, really prime form right now.
Both teams have decided the rushing game is the way to go coming into this second half. Levy Lease, the tight end, on the motion. It's still a stacked front line. They're going to run with Grant, and he's going to be pile-driven back by a wall of white jerseys. Makes up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that was 54. DJ Woods on the tackle there, and good job setting up a 3rd and short situation for Vancouver. Or for Louisiana, excuse me.
I formation now. Salmon's back in. Pitch. Salmon's going to pick up the 1st down. Break out of a tackle and get to the 35-yard line. Salmon's line on the night. 13 carries, 44 yards, and 1 reception for 19 yards on that touchdown drive.
Yeah, he's been exceptional. They just got to... Biggest thing I think Louisiana's doing for this run game is they're getting so many guys out into the 2nd level for blocking, and it really is showing in the yardage.
Grant, 3 yards. And unless Vancouver can consistently stop this run game, the Revolution are just going to run the ball until the Cows come home. They've got the lead. They've got a 2-score lead with under 4.5 to go in the third, soon to be under 4. They run the ball again. Salmons will get 1. 3rd and 5 that time. Woods on the stop again. And it's going to have to be the linebackers, Farnsey, Woods, and Reed, to really step up here for the Vancouver defense.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering here, you know, if you're Louisiana's offense, you're the coordinator, you're getting them to stack the box. I was going to say, at what point do you start opening it up and spreading the field out again?
Utah fakes the pitch and gets crushed by Gerald Giudice.
Wow, Gerald Giudice coming in, getting his 3rd sack on the season, his first tonight. And you see the spin move from a big fella like that. I mean, he's got 3 sacks on the season now for a reason, and that is unbelievable. What an agile move by a big-bodied defensive lineman.
And it forces the punt. Vancouver will take over, a fumble. Whoa, dangerous moments for Vancouver. Lili Nakai fumbled the ball. Correction, that's Gaffney fumbled the ball.
Wow. Wow, you want to talk about heads-up football? Whoever that player is that just picked up that fumble, give them a raise. They need a promotion, right? Make sure they get immunity on the roster for the next couple seasons.
I'm pretty sure that was Dallas Clark, the backup tight end. Saving Vancouver's skin right there. They do have the ball at their own 19-yard line, so a long field in front of them.
Sending heat.
Shows pressure as Killian swaps to the far sideline. They do bring the pressure, and that means Killian's wide open, on a slant.
Yeah, it's a beautiful play call. You saw them send the blitz up the A gap there with the linebacker, and what do? They attack the middle of the field with Brett Killian, and that's not somebody you want lurking across in between the hashes.
Now 2nd and 1. Status on Mateo Privado still unknown. They hand it off on a fumble. Pseudo Nakai coughed up the ball, but once again, Vancouver rides their luck. Mike Gandy, the offensive tackle, with the pickup.
And actually, that was Privado on the carry. Privado's back in.
Okay, so Mateo back in, but maybe not at 100%, seeing as he just coughed that one up.
I think that's safe to say. If you had any questions about Privado's health, well, you don't see Mateo Privado fumbling the ball often.
Christian Brown will throw it in the flat. McBride room to work, but her normally dominant stiff arm not working that time against Gary Clem, and it's 2nd and 7.
So we see 2 fumbles from this Vancouver team in less than a few minutes. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Well, Privado has lost a fumble so far this season. Thankfully for Vancouver, didn't lose that one as Pseudo goes backwards. Loss of 2. Clem making another tackle, and it's 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Gary Clem was so good on that, keeping containment. He's forced with the job to contain and force the run inside. Pseudo Nakai couldn't cut to the outside there, and that blew that play up.
3rd and 9, big play coming up here. 5-step drop, deep shot down the middle, and it's caught by a curling Brett Killian.
Yeah, that was impressive. You see Brett Killian making his way across. I mean, you see just an arrow route, really finding his way to the other side, the opposite side of the field. Kudos to the big guys up front, because Christian Brown had quite a few seconds there for that play to develop, and that's something they need to get a little bit more involved with.
Christian Brown, 7 of 10. In his last 10 passing attempts, he has really settled in after a shaky start. 15 of 22 so far tonight. It's the delayed handoff to Ike McBride, crosses the midfield stripe and picks up 6 as we are looking to under 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I really like the play call there with the draw play to the running back, and really good job there by the defense containing and making sure it didn't go for further.
14-3 Louisiana. Pseudo short of the first down. Tommy Wellbrook Bussey, in his third season, comes up with the stop. And now 3rd and inches. This is a massive play on both sides of the ball. Will we see a snap before the end of the 3rd quarter? Yes. It's a draw, and it's a first down for Pravado as he backs his way over the line. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. 4's up. We head to the final frame, and if you are so kind in the chat, put up your 86s, 12s, 68s, and 93s, as tonight we remember Anthony Stover, Leonard Butler Sr., Rich Pratchard, and Matt Wilson. First and 10 for Vancouver as we hit the 4th quarter. Michael Trillo on the call along with Mike O'Neill. Brown, time to throw. Dot to Killian inside the 30.
God, they are eating with this slant route across the middle for Brett Killian. I mean, just, you can see the separation. Look at the separation on his man. I mean, they're getting him matched up against linebackers, and that is a dangerous game to play. The only question is now, can they continue to dial it up with success and put some points on the board with it?
Louisiana dominated that 3rd quarter in terms of yards, but only got 3 points. Here is McBride to the 20. How many likes do we have on this video so far? It's not enough. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on so you don't miss a minute of SFL and SFLM action, and help the channel grow through your support. 2nd down and 4. A handoff again, this time to Pseudo. He gets 3, brings up 3rd and 1. And that little box right there in the top right-hand corner of your screen so far, Mike, kind of shows how this second half has gone. But again, not enough points to show for it for Vancouver, and they're getting to the point where time is a factor, down by 2 scores.
Absolutely. If you could have 500 yards of offense, but if you don't have points to show for it, it doesn't really mean anything in the end.
Pravado does what Pravado does best, picks up a first down inside the 15. And Vancouver, in their 2nd trip to the red zone, looking for their 1st trip to the end zone. Last time they were down here right at the end of the first half, Gary Clem had an 80-yard pick 6. It's a delayed handoff to McBride. She's pushed back at the 10 after a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, Gary Clem making another big tackle there, and I like what Vancouver's doing. They're kind of diversifying the playbook a little bit with these different run types. They're trying to pull this Louisiana defense in the box. Let's see what they do.
Under 8 to go. Not over by any stretch of the imagination, but Vancouver, you feel, has to punch it in here. Just a 2-yard gain to the 9 sets up 3rd and 5. And right now, Gary Clem is my player of the game. 13 tackles, 3 for loss, a pass deflection, an interception, a pick 6.
That is unbelievable.
3rd down. Brown to the goal line, and it was low. Killian didn't really have a shot at that one as it grazed the top of the grass.
Wow. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity there. Christian Brown's got to put that ball a little bit more to the outside. I mean, if that was to the outside, you've got quite a good opportunity of at least getting a first down on that play.
26 yards, chance to win, drills it. It's now technically a 1-score game with an 8-point Louisiana lead, but definitely not the result you would have wanted out of that long drive if you're Vancouver.
No, not the result you want, but look, at the end of the day, their offense is turning, right? Their offense is moving the ball. It's just a matter of opportunities and capitalizing on them when you get them. So see what this Vancouver defense does. They've got a really good defensive unit. They've made some big stops already tonight, so let's see if they can hold Louisiana again.
And if you're the Revolution, you got to lean on that running back duo. Salmons and Grant have been excellent in this second half. Just try and bleed time off the clock here.
And you got to watch for the outsides on these first downs.
They bring the pressure. Salmon's running left, breaks one tackle, and is a bit lucky to get any sort of positive yardage out of that. Mark Lopez eventually made the stop.
Yeah, and it's a tough break because Vancouver, you can see that they're playing a lot of man coverage, right? Which means hat on a hat for the blockers, for the receivers for Louisiana.
They go over the top, and it's caught. Kingston Ellington, who had the touchdown earlier, picks up a move of the chains for the Revs.
Yeah, the Revs have found a great connection. Look at the wheel route from Kingston Ellington to take outside, kind of do a little bit of a bait and switch with the defensive backs, and good job by Tommy Utah putting the ball over the heads of the defenders, going up and getting it. Man, they found a good matchup that they're working with right now with Kingston Ellington.
And off middle, Salmon stuffed, gain of 3. But every second that Vancouver is on defense, that time ticks away. Right now, you may be only looking at 2 chances left if you're Vancouver, and if this drive continues, you may be looking at 1 chance left. Of course, a Louisiana touchdown here might very well just be the nail in the coffin. Grant, nothing, 3rd and 7.
Wow. Drew Hamilton, you want to talk about fundamentals, you want to talk about good football. Drew Hamilton just took the best pursuit angle to blowing up that run that he could have taken, and that was the difference of a no yard gain versus 2 or 3 yards, and that's a big thing.
Here's the blitz. Utah nailed as he lets it go, but it's still caught by Ronick.
Wow. Holy cow. Ziggy Ronick coming up clutch there. Utah, watch him as he stands in this pocket, gets nailed and has to deliver a ball. Luckily, Ziggy Ronick is on another level with this connection with his quarterback and knows where that ball is going to be coming up clutch, and he just bailed Tommy Utah out here.
That may be the play of the game if we come back and look at it down the line. Banks, only 1 catch today. He moves left to right. Utah swings it out, weak side. Salmon spins and barely gets dragged down after a gain of 7. We go under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Dwayne Salmons is in peak form right now. I mean, you see those legs continue to churn, spinning, juking, doing everything you can to shake a defender.
Grant, nothing. Look out. The shoulder of Josh Farnsey was right there as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Farnsey, man, that was a heck of a play. It's an interesting situation. 3rd and 3 here, for less than 4.5 to go, and they've got a 3-man front on the defense.
If you're Vancouver, you need a stop here. Lots of motion pre-snap for the visitors. Louisiana just going to drain that clock away. They can snap it with 4:01 to go. They pitch it to Salmons, and he breaks through.
Anytime you can get your running back carrying 3 defenders to the ground with him, that's normally going to be a pretty good day on the ground. And that was excellent sledding there for Dwayne Salmons. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't say enough about this backfield for Louisiana right now.
If you're Vancouver, you got to force a stop, and you got to force it now because a field goal puts this game back into 2-score game territory. Utah under center. Louisiana looking for the knockout blow. Grant, nice stutter step in the backfield to slip away for 4.
Yeah, again, that they had defenders in pursuit, but just poor angles, and the result is a 4-yard pickup on 1st down. You see the team stats there.
I mean, Vancouver a ways away up in total yards, but it doesn't really matter if you can't punch that ball into the end zone.
That's it.
3 trips into plus territory. Vancouver has 2 field goals and threw a pick 6. 2nd and 6 for the Revolution. They'll pitch it again. Oh, a spin from Salmons. And Vancouver's lucky that Zach Lay was there to clean that up.
Talk about a spin from Salmons. How about a spin from Bobo Caudill to get that play, force that play into the other defenders? I mean, that was, man, I think Bobo Caudill looked a little bit better on the spin move than Salmons did.
Another 3rd down for Louisiana. This will be the last play before the 2-minute warning, 1 second difference. Play clock to game clock. It'll be a run. It'll be Grant. It'll be a 1st down.
Ooh, I don't know, partner. If I'm Vancouver, I don't know if I'd be happy with that spot.
2 minutes to go. Louisiana trying to get a big win at home on Cadillac Black Night. Here at Stack Up Stadium, the Revolution well inside field goal range now. Now the question is, how much time can they take off the clock? The answer is more of it with Dwayne Salmons. Vancouver starts taking timeouts.
Yeah, and I like that they're taking timeouts right now. They're trying to, because they know that Louisiana's in a run situation, right? They're going to continue to run the ball and try and milk this clock out. Now it's going to come down, and you see it. You can't be playing your corners off 15 yards in this situation. They've got to get help on the outsides.
The Vancouver corners aren't even in the shot. A couple more yards there. 3rd down and 1. And that's just, I think, a game plan misread from the Vancouver coaching staff. The 3-man fronts, the deep corners and safeties not stacking the box, and Louisiana has punished them for it on these crucial long drives.
Yeah, 4-man front here. A little bit better of a look, but they've got to send pressure through the A gaps.
Play number 14 on the drive is another first down. Vancouver calls their final timeout, and that might just do it.
Yeah, it was Dwayne Salmons making a really good read, noticing that the A gaps were coming with pressure and bouncing outside there.
That's it. It's over. Tama, Utah, in the best formation in football, victory formation. How about this to close it out from the Revolution? A 17-play, 60-yard drive, 15 runs, and ate up 7.5 minutes of game clock.
Wow. I don't know how much you can say about that, but I will say this. There was a lot of controversy about how much these 2 running backs got paid last offseason, right? Everybody talked about, why are you paying them this much money? And I think now you're kind of putting the league on notice on why you're giving these guys so much money. Dwayne Salmons, Chris Grant Jr., they put on a clinic tonight for this run game.
And if you're Vancouver, Andy Hamilton and company, a 3rd game in 4 scoring under 10 points, and the 2nd straight game without a touchdown.
Wow. And I did just get word here that Utah and Ellington played together in Salt Lake City in the minors. So you want to talk about that connection, that quarterback wide receiver connection coming up into the majors. And wow, that Kingston and Ellington was spectacular tonight. We saw actually 7 points come from that connection tonight.
Vancouver drops to 1-3. The West Division is a weird one. Arizona coming into the week dominating at 3-0. Denver 2-2. Vancouver, Albuquerque, and LA all lost this week, so they are all still at 1 win. It's going to be very interesting out in the West. We'll see if Arizona continues to run things out there. In the South, Fort Worth undefeated. Mexico City now 3-1. Foster City 2-1 coming into the week. Houston 2-2. So Louisiana moves up to tie Houston. Houston at 2-2 in that division, and this may be the start of a turnaround for the Revolution, who have already come a pretty long way from getting smacked around by Mexico City on opening night of the convention. Correction, Fort Worth is no longer undefeated.
Yeah, excellent game here tonight from Louisiana Revolution, and I think this is kind of what everybody's been waiting to see them in the form that they've been waiting to see them in, is Dwayne Salmons and Chris Grant Jr. kind of sharing the workload and just getting a good balance while mixing in some of the passing concepts that they like to use. And man, Louisiana had it figured out. If you're Vancouver, no panic, right? Get back to the drawing board. They've got really good coaches over there and a lot of talent, and I gotta say, just hats off. Louisiana wanted it more tonight.
My player of the game has got to be Gary Clem. 13 tackles, 3 for loss, a pass deflection, and a pick 6. That pick 6, crucial, right? Because at that point it was 7-0, coming down to the end of the first half. Vancouver driving inside the red zone, and it just changed the game completely, because then Vancouver was on their heels and they never really recovered.
Well, you gotta look at too. I mean, Louisiana didn't score any points in the second half either, right? So, I mean, that 7 points from that pick 6 were the last points that Louisiana essentially put up, realistically. And if you trace that back, I mean, if you take that away, I mean, Vancouver has an opportunity to win the game with a 2-point conversion, or going for it.
Vancouver out yards Louisiana 235 to 229. Only 101 passing yards for Tommy Utah, 8 of 16, 50% completion for him. Christian Brown, 66.7% completion over his season average, but throws that crucial pick 6. Can't connect with Brett Killian when it mattered, right? Another key play coming down the stretch in a game that was a 1-score game at the time, and you can't find your best receiver on the goal line on third down, have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, it's I think you can trace it back to just the lack of opportunities capitalized for Vancouver, man. But hats off to Louisiana Revolution; they played an excellent game tonight.
Thank you so much to Mike Daggs and Justin Reside on stats this evening. Cameron Irvine in the production room, as always, doing a great job producing tonight's a rare Monday night doubleheader. And thank you for staying with us on a late Monday night doubleheader, almost 11 p.m. on the East Coast. For Mike O'Neill in the broadcast booth, my name is Michael Torello. O'Neill, great to finally call a game with you, my friend. And unfortunately, this is probably my last one of the season up here in the broadcast booth. So keep doing what you're doing the rest of the season. That goes out to the entire broadcast team. And before I leave tonight, obviously, one more time, we remember our friends who left us too soon. And tonight's been all about Leonard Butler Sr., Anthony Stover, Rich Pratchard, and Matt Wilson. That'll do it for our Week 4 coverage from the Simulation Football League. We'll see you back here